President Joe Biden is heading to the West Coast for dinner hosted by the Getty family, per Puck News. Administration officials hope to raise around $2 million for the Biden re-election campaign, a re-election campaign that is currently in some trouble. Weeks after special counsel Robert Hur released his report on President Biden and his mental fitness, a Quinnipiac University poll conducted earlier this month found that 67% of voters say the 81-year-old is too old to effectively serve another term. That polling data consistently shows that even majorities of Democrats have concerns with the president's age.
Meanwhile, podcast host Charlemagne the God told ABC News that he's gotten pushback from the White House for being, quote, tough on Biden. He said he feels like you should be able to criticize whoever your elected official is. You can't keep saying there's a threat to democracy but not act like it. Charlemagne has been critical of Democrats and Biden in particular before, arguing the party has only paid lip service to solving black issues and pursuing the minority vote only during election cycles. Yeah, famously, Charlemagne the God is the person that Joe Biden was talking to when he said, you, quote, ain't black if you haven't already decided to vote for me in the 2020 election. Well, it looks like a lot more black people are shedding their skin, according to Joe Biden, since historic numbers of black people are now saying they will not, in fact, vote for Joe Biden, but they were choosing Donald Trump as an alternative.
Yeah, it is reminiscent of the White House also lashing out, as we learned a few days ago, at the New York Times, I think because of Ezra Klein, who openly mused about what it would look like to replace Joe Biden at this point, given the concerns about his age. This is always funny when, and Barack Obama did this too, his administration getting mad with the press for not praising his accomplishments enough. Then, of course, when Trump's in power, any Republicans, the war on the media, it's so horrible how this sweeping condemnation of the media, and is this a threat to freedom and free speech and our independent press that the president is so combative with the media, but then Democrats expect fawning praise at all turns, don't get it, and are just as mad about it as Republicans.
That's the thing. It's not even Charlemagne the God.
He's the enemy of the people.
He has a hip hop radio show, where it's mostly music and culture oriented. That does have a large audience, and so therefore politicians do tend to go on his show. Some to great success, like Bernie Sanders did very well on his show. Some come out with a lot of viral moments that aren't so great for them, like Hillary Clinton's famous hot sauce in the bag moment, which also happened on Charlemagne the God show.
I don't remember this.
She says she carried hot sauce in her bag in a comment that was perceived as pandering to black people. I actually do think she carries hot sauce in her bag, but it was
black people carry hot sauce in their bag?
No, but we tend to think that lots of food that some other people like are bland, is bland. I didn't know if it requires hot sauce.
Well, because we learned about cash gets carried in the bag because of Fonnie Willis.
I've been talking about that with some of my friends too. Bag. I wouldn't have to get into that. Anyway. Yeah, so the idea that you're going to get big mad about I don't mean this as disrespectful to Charlemagne the God or the reach of that show either, but the idea that the White House is going to be fuming about a hip-hop radio host, a music show host, isn't sufficiently deferential to the Biden administration, and then to be getting mad because he's saying true things that are reflected in the polls, like the guy is the oldest president in the history of presidents, and the guy is showing signs of cognitive decline, and we're not very confident that he is going to be able to make it through this election season. If you want to address the concerns that are being raised on the Breakfast Club, you need to address those concerns. It's not a Breakfast Club problem. It's an image problem. It's a problem that was easily anticipated. It's a problem that many people thought you were going to have anticipated when you hinted back in 2020 that you were going to be a one-term president before completely ratcheting back and reneging on that implied promise. So now you've got to deal with it.
Biden could address these concerns by appearing on any of these shows, by doing interviews. He declined the Super Bowl interview. You've mentioned a number of times that he's done 80 interviews during the course of his presidency, far fewer than Donald Trump or Barack Obama. They're afraid, clearly, to put him. They're afraid to put him on the camera for short amounts of time, let alone long amounts of time. But that's what he would need to do to dispel what is a popular notion among the entire electorate, including most Democrats, that he's not fit to campaign, even though he's going to have to, because he's running for re-election.
Yeah.
Well, does another one bite the dust? Newly unveiled FOIA documents show that President Joe Biden's dog, Commander, bit U.S. service personnel in at least 24 incidents at the White House and other locations. The German Shepherd's teething troubles have apparently become a serious workplace issue for hundreds of staff. I'm obviously not laughing at people getting bitten, but the pictures of Biden cuddling Commander on the screen when juxtaposed with the words I was reading caused me to laugh. It apparently was compromising White House operations, which did in fact lead to Commander's removal from the White House to stay with external Biden family members.
An unnamed assistant, a special agent in charge of the Secret Service Presidential Protective Division, wrote to their team in an email last June saying, quote, "The recent dog bites have challenged us to adjust our operational tactics when Commander is present. Please give lots of room." The unarmed Secret Service head added that agents must be creative to ensure their own personal safety. According to CNN, though the lead agent did not reveal his identity, the Secret Service has confirmed the veracity of the reporting. Now, it seems to me, Robby, that getting a dog, especially like a German Shepherd, is supposed to increase your safety vis-a-vis the public. It seems from this reporting, these FOIA requests, the Secret Service is saying their ability to protect the president is actually being imperiled by the existence of this bite-happy canine.
It just seems like an unfortunate situation that this is a kind of dangerous dog. I mean, this is a breed that can do some damage. They can do some damage to you. I knew someone growing up who got attacked by a vicious dog. It was horrible, absolutely horrible. So it's a serious issue. I mean, we don't know how bad the biting kind of is that can range.
Yeah, there's bites and there's bites, for sure. But look, the thing that makes me
But when that dog bites you, it's a serious issue. You know, if my little Yorkshire Terriers, I mean, they would never, ever bite another human being. They love people to death. But it wouldn't be an issue.
Right. But the thing that makes me have not as much sympathy here is that he's not just some random person who's living a harried life with 3 children and a job and who has time to train this dog. The kids wanted a GD dog for Christmas and now we're stuck with this situation. No, this is the most powerful man in the world who has a dog whose behavior is so problematic that it's interfering with the ability of the Secret Service to protect the President of the United States of America. It's honestly a national safety issue for someone to hire a trainer to come and fix this dog. Fix the dog. We see Joe Biden with the dog walking as a puppy, which seems to suggest that these are problems that originated at home. They didn't adopt him from some shelter where he had baked in some problems.
You're saying the Biden crime family trained him to be a vicious, cold-blooded killer.
No, I'm saying that unlike Joe Biden, this isn't an old dog.
Influence.
Wait a minute. Unlike Joe Biden, this isn't an old dog that can't be taught new tricks. Yeah. And so to the extent that it has built-in problems, it should have been seen a mile away. And it's frankly an example of the negligence of this administration that they can't just call and pay someone a full-time yearly salary to live with this frickin' dog until it can behave.
You can improve dogs' behavior in these kinds of behavioral training things. I had friends who had a dog that was a little bit difficult to deal with and is now the sweetest thing after going through that kind of training. So you can do that.
Yeah, there's no such thing as bad dogs. They say just bad owners. And that's not an indictment of the Bidens per se. He's a busy man. But if you're in this situation, it's incumbent on you to get your dog, your child, your whomever in your life that's causing troubles the resources that they need if you can afford it. And certainly the Bidens can afford, America can afford for the first dog to get a little remedial training.
Well, we wish Commander well, and of course all the Secret Service agents who were bitten by the dog. More rising right after this.